Hello my dear children, welcome to Learner's Planet. Children, this is session 2 about our body. In the previous session, we studied about some organ systems like skeletal system and muscular system. Now we will study about other organ systems. So the first system which we are going to study in this session is digestive system. Children, the food that we eat gets digested inside our body. Yes? Children, you might have noticed that you eat food, but after some time, what happens to the food that we eat? Yes, the food that we eat gets digested. So, the process of changing food into substances that our body can use is called digestion. So always remember, children, the process of changing food into substances that our body can use is called digestion. And the organs that help for this process forms our digestive system. So children, in a very simple sentence, I will tell that the organs that help us for digestion forms our digestive system. So let us study something about our digestive system. What organs our digestive system consists of? Yes, the first one is mouth. What is the function of mouth? The function of our mouth is taking in food. Yes, we take in food through our mouth. The second one is food pipe. You can see this. See the picture, children? This is a long tube-like structure. This is called a food pipe. So, what is the function of this food pipe? Yes, food passes down the food pipe. So, children, we can say that food pipe helps the food to pass it down to other organs. Right? So where does this food pipe passes the food? It passes the food into stomach. Yes? You can see this? This long tube-like food pipe directly passes the food into stomach. So this is a stomach. What we can say about stomach? It is a sac-like organ where the food gets mixed thoroughly. Thoroughly means very, very precisely. Right? It gets mixed. So, what is the function of stomach? It mixes the food thoroughly. And then it passes to the intestines. So what is the function of intestines? What is the function of small and large intestines? The intestines take in or absorb the food that we get from the food we eat. Okay, children? So always remember that the intestines take in or absorb what is needed from the food. Okay, children? And the absorbed food gives us energy and it gets digested. But what about the food that is not digested? Where it passes? Yes, it passes into the anus. So what is the function of anus? Yes, the undigested food is thrown out through the anus. So what does anus do? Anus throws out the undigested food. What is undigested food? It is the food which is the waste for our body. It does not give us energy. It does not get digested in our body. So it is thrown out of the body through the anus. So is it clear? What digestive system consists of? It consists of mouth, food pipe, stomach, intestines, and anus. Okay, children? Now we will study about another organ system, that is our breathing system. Children, we need to breathe in order to live. Right? Do you agree? Yes, we need to breathe. So how do we breathe? We use our nose to breathe. You can see in the picture, right? We can smell through our nose and we breathe through our nose. So children, we can say that the air we breathe in is called inhaled air. What it is called? Inhaled air. And this inhaled air goes down the windpipe. You can see the windpipe here. It goes down the windpipe and then it reaches the lungs. Right? We will see one picture in which lungs are shown. Correct? So this inhaled air reaches the lungs and then the air we breathe out is called exhaled air. Okay, children? So always remember that the air we breathe in is called inhaled air and the air we breathe out is called exhaled air. Okay, children? So all these together forms our breathing system, right? So now we will study about breathing system. Children, also remember that exhaled air is impure. Why is it impure? Is it impure? As it has more of a gas called as carbon dioxide. So children, carbon dioxide is a gas which is very harmful for our body. That is why we inhale oxygen gas, which is very useful to us, and we exhale out carbon dioxide, which is a very harmful gas. Okay, children. So this inhaled air and exhaled air process together forms breathing system. Yes. So let's study about some organs of our breathing system. So the first organ is nose. It is a sense organ because we can smell through our nose. So what is the function of nose? This is a nose. We take in air through our nose. Okay? Then this is the windpipe. The inhaled air goes down the windpipe. Right? That is, oxygen gas goes down the windpipe into lungs. And what is the function of lungs? Yes, the air when reaches the lungs, then lungs expand. Lungs becomes big. Okay, children. So is it clear? Oxygen gas. We breathe oxygen gas through our nose. Then that air goes down the windpipe. Then it goes into the lungs and our lungs expand. That means the lungs become big. And after that, we exhale out carbon dioxide. Okay, children, so this is our breathing system. Now we will study about another important organ system, that is nervous system. So children, have you ever thought that how does your body know what to do? Yes, the brain is the organ that tells our body what to do. Yes, so we can say that the brain is a very important organ. Why is it important organ? Because it has messengers called as nerves. Right? The brain has messengers called nerves. And what these nerves do? These nerves send instructions to our muscles, bones and other body parts. Right? So we can say that brain is very important organ. So children, always remember that there is this yellowish color in the picture. What is this? This is the spinal cord. The spinal cord connects all the parts of the body to the brain. Right? And we can also say that just as the brain is protected by the skull, the spinal cord is protected by the backbone. So we can say that the brain, the spinal cord and the nerves make up our nervous system. Okay, children? So let's see and study about nervous system. Yes. What happens when we touch a hot kettle or a hot cup? we pull back our hand immediately, right? What happens when we touch a very hot or cold thing? We pull back our hand immediately. Why? This is because our skin is a sense organ, right? We studied about this. Yes? Our skin can feel the touch. So we can say that our skin is a sense organ. So we can also say that the nerves in our skin tell the brain that we have touched something hot. Yes? So children, our skin is a sense organ and the nerves in our skin tell the brain that we have touched something hot. And then what happens? Then the brain understands that it's hot, right? So what will happen when the brain understands that something hot is touching our skin? Then the brain will give message to the nerves, right? When the nerves get the message from the brain that take hand away from this hot object, right? So after that, what will happen? We will pull our hand back immediately, right? So this way our brain understands and works. When we touch something hot or cold or anything that senses our skin. Okay children, are you all clear with this? So let's revise. What consists of nervous system? Nervous system consists of the brain, the spinal cord and the nerves. Okay. Now we will study about another organ system, that is circulatory system, right? Children, just as a car cannot work without its engine, our body cannot work without the heart. Why it cannot work without heart? Because our heart pumps blood to various organs and this blood is carried by blood vessels, right? What are blood vessels? They are the thin tubes through which the blood flows to all parts of our body. So we can say that the heart, blood and the blood vessels make up our circulatory system, right? I'll repeat. The heart, the blood and the blood vessels make up our circulatory system, right? So let's study something about circulatory system. So children, you can see in the picture, yes, this is our circulatory system. These are red and blue color blood vessels. This is a red colored heart, right? So now we will study that what is the function of heart. So what is the function of heart? Yes. Heart pushes out blood to big blood vessels. Yes, you can see here. It pushes out the red colored blood to big blood vessels. Right. And what is heart made up of? The heart is made up of only muscles. And because of these muscles, heart pushes out blood to the blood vessels. And then what is the function of blood vessels? These big blood vessels branches and goes to all the parts of the body. Right? It travels to all the parts of the body. So are you clear with this? This is our circulatory system. Heart pushes out the blood to blood vessels, and the blood vessels branches more and more and goes to all parts of our body. So heart is a very important organ of our body. I hope you are clear with the circulatory system. Right? Now we will study about excretory system and reproductive system. So what is excretory system and reproductive system? Yes, our excretory system cleans our body by throwing out body waste like urine, sweat, etc. You can see in the picture, right? Our excretory system cleans our body by throwing out body waste. And what is reproductive system? The reproductive system helps in producing young ones like us. Right? Can you see this in the picture? Okay, children. So I hope you are clear with all the systems. Now this is the very important thing which we are going to study, and that is regular exercise. Right? Children, machines get rusty and creaky when they are not used for a long time. Right? Similarly, our body becomes unfit if we don't exercise. If we sit like this. So, don't be lazy and exercise. Why you should exercise? Because exercise helps us to keep our body healthy. Right? So never sit idle. Always do regular exercise. So children, we can see here some pictures. Right? You should always exercise. And exercise also includes yoga. What is yoga? Yoga is an ancient Indian form of exercise. Right? Yogasans keep our body healthy and in good condition. Like you can see in the picture, these girls are doing yoga. Right? Why you should do yoga? Because yoga helps us to have a peaceful mind. right? But always remember, children, we should always do yogasanas in the presence of a yoga teacher. Okay, children? And you should also exercise regularly. So children, I hope that you are all clear with the different organ systems of our body, right? So children, keep doing exercise regularly and keep learning. Thank you, children.